to Athletics LLC with Lamar, Lucius, Big League Chew, and my man Clyde. You're about to be schooled in all things track and field. This is experience.
Yes, sir.
We are talking past, present, future. Y'all listen up. Let's go.
Hello, Athletics LLC land. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Well, here we are. Got a lot of new backgrounds. So we'll just jump right into this big pond.
I mean, clearly we all got to step our flex game up.
I know.
I'm gonna have to do something with my background.
Our blur is on point. We're good.
I don't know what it says. Like, my subtle flex wasn't even a flex. Those are all junior college baseball hats. I just thought it was cool.
It's a cool picture. So let me go ahead and introduce Sir Lucius so he can just floss his two hang-ups real quick. So Lucius, how are you this evening, sir?
I'm wonderful. I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Well, wait, hold on.
We just want to know, like, if you did a pan with the camera, is there like a whole square or circular wall? Is it like a whole crown of those?
Does it look like a locker room?
The answer is no on the locker room. You know who decorates this home, so there's no locker room feel to this house at all. But I mean, there are a couple of mementos from championships and such around my man cave here. Yeah. So yeah.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Those just happen to be two of my favorite championships. Let's put it that way.
We're missing his biggest flex. Do you see the chin strap?
Oh, it is No Shave November, is it not?
Yes, it is.
Oh, it is November. Whoops.
Yeah, can't y'all tell?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Listen, I could do No Shave 2021 and y'all wouldn't be able to tell.
Lucky you.
Oh, goodness. Well, Lamar Undefeated Hufferton, welcome back for 87. What are we? I don't remember what it is that we're in. I just typed it too. Episodes. Hello, sir.
Shout out to the undefeated Roadrunners.
Governor smiling right now.
Shout out to the governor.
Last but not least, Clyde. How are you doing tonight, sir?
Hour by hour, we're going to get things done.
Day by day, minute by minute, things get checked off the task list. That's how we roll.
That's right.
Love it. Well, without further ado, let's get into what you all came here for. Chaos. Like, I need to make a sign. Just hashtag chaos.
Hashtag chaos.
So there was some of that, definitely, both in the professional and the collegiate realm this weekend. So have at it.
Let's start with Fugazi, Oklahoma, and I'm done. I'm gonna just leave that right there, because a week ago, was it maybe not you guys or other people? Oklahoma's getting screwed, and Oklahoma showed who they absolutely truly are. So hey, all I know is the scenario I painted last week just got a little bit closer to being completed. So we'll see what happens.
I don't know about that.
Listen, okay.
It did.
We can get into all of this, but I'm gonna have to we to the audience, we shuffled our days a little bit. So I'm pulling up the updates because they came out like maybe an hour ago. But something that we missed, some of all our complaining that we did last week, and justifiably so, we missed what might have been the most egregious part of the CFP rankings.
We did.
Yes,
we did.
We did.
Michigan, the Harbaughs, the mighty Harbaughs, who got it better than us, Harbaughs.
Who got it better than us?
Are ranked ahead of Michigan State, who have the same record with one loss. Now, the funny thing is that Michigan's one loss came at the hands of, Michigan State. We all watched that game. It wasn't particularly close.
Oh, it was close now. It was close.
At the very end, But
No,
if you watched
close.
it,
No,
it wasn't really that close.
Stop that. Michigan led most of the game. It was a good game.
Michigan State won the game, boss.
Michigan State did win the game. Yes, they did.
So how are they ranked ahead?
Yeah,
See, now that's that. And now you know what? And that's one that I will never try to defend because they are totally wrong for that crap.
And I believe, maybe it was an error, an oversight, if you will.
No, because they did it 2 weeks in a row. So it's not.
Because they might have did it again. I'm pretty sure they just.
No. They just did it again. So yeah. So we have. I can't defend them on that one because then why is Ohio State not ranked ahead of Oregon, right?
I mean,
Same deal. Yeah.
I just know that this week's rankings are truly bringing to light what I said last week. There's a list of planes scheduled to fly over Cincinnati, Michigan, Michigan State, Notre Dame, Oklahoma State, Wake Forest, all lined up to just
Lucius, wait a minute, Lucius.
It's gonna happen.
Lucius, listen, we both listened to Lamar last week. I was 90% with him. You weren't with him at all. But you have to, sir, as it stands right now, Wake Forest is all the way up to 10. Oklahoma State at 9. Notre Dame is at 8. Michigan State is at 7. Michigan is at 6. And Cincinnati is holding their filler spot at 5, which we all know they're going to lose.
All of those teams have the chance to just
jump them. They're going to jump them.
Oh my God.
There is no world where Cincinnati goes undefeated and they're ranked 10th in that poll.
I ain't saying
no, they won't be 10th.
It won't be
no, hold on. You just said all of them are going to jump. That's what you said.
I said all of them can, and that's what I said last week.
Okay.
I said there was teams all the way down to 12th.
We'll see. We'll see. I just happen to disagree because I'm not the conspiracy theorist that you two guys are. And I was very clear and concise with the fact that Cincinnati is going to be ranked in the top 4 at the end of the year.
Can I? Before we get into the full chaos rant, I want to point out this. Look, the committee is really good at being subtle with some of the things they do if you're not paying attention. Okay. 2 weekends ago, Baylor was ranked number 12 in the country, and they played an unranked TCU at TCU. They got mollywopped. Do you know what they dropped to? 13th. They dropped to 13th. Yeah. Then they won this weekend, and now they're 11th. So let's be clear. They went from 12th to 11th by going 1-1.
That's right.
And so what's the back door to that one, sir?
The back door is just that losses only matter when the committee wants them to matter.
This is true. And
wins only matter. Like, look, let's be clear. You said this last week, and I 100% agree with you. The only path Cincinnati possibly has to be in the Final Four is 2 parts. 1, people have to lose. 2, they have to win and win pretty. I think you said style points and putting up 50 points. I completely agree with you, but I think that is insane that they have to, both of those things have to happen, that the A and the B have to happen. We got to put up 50, blow people out, and other teams have to lose.
I don't think I said they have to put up 50, but I said no, I didn't say they have to. Rewind the tape. See, every time we rewind the tape, you guys are wrong. So we'll just leave that right there. But at the end of the day, okay, let's pretend I said that, but I didn't say it. But at the end of the day, like, they just have to beat the teams they're supposed to beat the way they're supposed to beat them. That's all it comes down to.
That blows my mind.
And I don't know why. Okay, it blows your mind because you want to have the conspiracy theory, and that's fine.
So why is that true of Oregon or Alabama?
Okay, hold a second. You can't play Tulsa at home and have them on your goal line with 30 seconds left to go with a chance to tie the game when you have spent the week complaining that you weren't in the top 4. You can't do that. It's just okay. Look, I'm gonna go back to what I
was
said last week.
beating Nebraska by 3 points in the fourth quarter. Nebraska is a hot ass dumpster fire.
Okay, hold on a second. I want you to go back and look at the teams that Nebraska's played tough this year. Okay, and whether Nebraska is a hot dumpster fire or not, because if they're a hot dumpster fire, then Tulsa is 3 of them.
I mean, I don't disagree.
So
Tulsa
exactly. So we can do this all day, but at the end of the day, like I keep trying to explain, these folks have put forth these parameters that I'm not going to disagree with you that they have these parameters that are going to get them what they want. Okay, they are.
Wait, say it again. What they want. Yes,
exactly what they want.
That's all.
Okay,
and what?
Okay. Look, but not what the networks want.
Oh, that's
not
the same.
what
It's
ESPN.
one in the same. That's one in the same.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It's one in the same.
So basically, what they believe they want is they want the best 4 teams in the country.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
Sir,
Yes,
Michigan ranked ahead of Michigan State. They lost.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. They're not. Neither one of them are in the top 4. So why are we talking about it?
they're number 6.
But they're not in the top 4.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, the system they've set up is set up to get what they believe are the best 4 teams in the country. Yeah.
Wait, okay.
So whether you guys want to believe that or not, okay, and I will liken this system. I am not telling you I agree with the way they do this, but I do when I see what they do every week, I'm never surprised. The only thing I'm surprised about is this Michigan State. That surprises me. Yeah, I would love to hear an explanation on that one. But this is likened to the cross country qualifying system. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, I have a serious question because I've never lived in the Midwest. You have roots there. Michigan and Michigan State play on the same side of the ledger in the Big Ten, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So if they both win the rest of their games and end up with the same record, Michigan State will go to the championship game, yet Michigan is ranked ahead of them.
Okay, so now let me educate you, Grasshopper.
Sir.
If Michigan State beats 4th ranked Ohio State, they're going to jump Michigan.
But Michigan would beat them as well in that
scenario.
No.
If Michigan State beats Ohio State, they're going to jump Michigan.
But then Michigan would beat Ohio State as well.
But his point is, Ohio State will be lesser ranked at that point.
Exactly. So Michigan State beats Ohio State when they're number 4, which will drop them below Michigan and Michigan State. So when Michigan beats Ohio State, which they're not going to do, by the way, then it's not the losses. I mean, the win isn't as sexy. So then it's not a big deal.
And you realize that is the ultimate proof of how fugazi this whole thing is.
Okay, look, you asked me what you believe that Michigan was going to be ahead of Michigan State based on the parameters set forth by these people behind the curtain, as you like to call it. Okay, if Michigan State beats Ohio State, which isn't going to happen either, if Michigan State beats Ohio State, Michigan State will therefore jump Michigan because that will be a strength of schedule win.
I got the ultimate. The ultimate, like, the fix is in. This is what would have to happen, right? If this happens, nobody can argue with me about the fix. Oregon loses, right? Okay. And then Ohio State beats Michigan and Michigan State. So we eliminate all 3 of them, right? Because all 3 of those teams, Oregon, Michigan, and Michigan State, would all have 2 losses, right? Mm-hmm. Then Notre Dame wins out and passes Cincinnati in the last week.
That could easily happen.
I'm not going to buy that easily happen.
Cincinnati beat Notre Dame. Let's just not forget that.
And you know what? And I would love to tell you that based on what they say shouldn't happen, but the fact that Michigan's over Michigan State right now just baffles me. So that just kind of throws a monkey wrench in the whole thing, right? There's no world that if Notre Dame is 4 and Cincinnati's 5, look, I know my folks in Ohio now. Okay.
There's gonna be a riot.
Absolutely. Hey, look, they're not called the Dirty Natty for no reason.
There's gonna be a Northern Kentucky riot.
Wow. If Cincinnati goes undefeated and Notre Dame the only loss is to them, and Notre Dame gets in and they don't, it's going to be bad.
Look, but here's the thing. If we look, just knowing what we know about the committee, right? Like, we know that's going to happen because look, if Oregon loses, we don't have to worry about them. Michigan State lose, we don't have to worry about them, right? If Notre Dame goes undefeated, that means they got to win the ACC. The ACC championship game, even though it's probably not going to be it. Look, if they got to play Wake Forest to win the ACC championship, it's a better win. They're going to pass Cincinnati. Like, that's going to happen.
Well, I would love to defend them. I don't think it's going to happen. Like I said, all along I've said Cincinnati's getting in.
You have.
If all they got to do is win the rest of their games, stop the nonsense, stop talking, and get back to playing great football.
Can I get some love for the Thunderbirds? Why is UTSA ranked behind Arkansas?
I mean, look, I got the hat on for a reason. Like, let's just call it what it is, right? Like, okay, once we get past Wake Forest, right? Wake is at 10. Everybody else behind them is just a good football team at best, right? Baylor's good. They're not great by any means. Like, they're pretenders to any throne that anybody would want to talk about. We've beaten Ole Miss and OU to death. BYU plays nobody. Wisconsin has 3 losses. Texas A&M has 3 losses. Iowa, anyway, we're not even going to – Iowa's back at 17, y'all. Just let that wash over.
This is true. But
right? See, Iowa is – just understand this. Iowa fell behind UTSA and has now passed them.
That's right. But see, and listen, nobody really cares about, the bottom end of this top 25. But,
no, they don't.
Yeah, you have it.
But here's the thing.
Don't we say this every week? Because he goes on these rants about the people at the bottom who nobody cares.
No.
If you're not in the top 12, nobody cares.
No, but
Mouse,
see,
I think that. But I mean, sorry, I called you Mouse.
You have to understand how this all correlates. Because, sir, of all the teams in all the land, why is it important that Mississippi State with 4 losses is
25? Right.
Because it helps the strength of schedule of the SEC. That's why.
I just look at it like this, right? Look,
I just find it laughable that you guys really think that they're sitting in the room saying we got to make sure we rank this SEC team 25th for strength of schedule. That's not.
I don't think they have to say it. I think they just do it.
And they're not saying it. It's not a thought. It's not being done for that reason. It just may be possible that they really believe that Mississippi State is the 25th best team in the country. And that may not be your belief. It may not be mine. But it's clearly what they think. But hey,
sounds spectacular.
Conspiracy theorists aside, I don't even know why it matters because both Georgia doesn't play them. Alabama's beat them already, if I'm not mistaken. Okay?
That's why it matters.
Okay.
I'm just trying to figure out, like,
no, it doesn't matter because if Alabama, stop it, dude. If Alabama loses to Georgia, they're done.
No, they're not.
They're done. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. If Alabama loses to Georgia, I'll see you in the Citrus Bowl or wherever you go. It's not happening.
But earlier we talked about why the bottom of the poll matters, right? Look, UTSA is in a conference that doesn't do conference revenue sharing, right? If they go undefeated, they deserve to get into that 12 spot, which would get them into a New Year's Bowl. Look, I understand, like they're not a national championship team.
Jeez, that's terrible.
Why not? Why not? Explain it to me.
Okay.
Why does a 3-loss Wisconsin? Why are they better than UTSA?
Okay, hold on a second. Because they believe that they are better, and because first of all, I am not going to do this with you two, okay? Because you absolutely know that Wisconsin will beat them silly
I
And
don't
you
know
know
that.
You do know that. Stop it.
Okay, have you seen
Absolutely
Wisconsin play this year?
Look, you yes, I have. And I can put it to you
You
like
think
this.
they're
Hold
good?
on, let me tell you something right now. They're not a great football team, but they're better than UTSA. Okay? UTSA
Listen, these
has as
undefeated
much.
boys.
You undefeated against who?
Hey, man,
Okay.
you gotta play who's on your schedule. That's all you can do.
Exactly. And just because you play the weak sisters of the poor every week doesn't mean you should get into the big time playoff game. The big time playoff game or the big time bowl. Okay.
Oh my goodness. Lordy,
Look,
Lordy.
I applaud them if they go undefeated, but going undefeated against a lesser schedule in a weak conference does not guarantee you a seat at the table.
Okay, so here's my conspiracy theory. Who has BYU played?
Where are they ranked right now?
They're 14th. They're going to end up in the top 12.
And there you go. You don't know.
They're going to end up in the top 12, and they're going to go to a bowl game because they travel well and it sells tickets.
Okay,
like, look, all of this stuff.
See,
matters,
you say that as if, okay, if they don't play their way into the top 12, they're just going to be put in the top 12. Okay. Okay. So first of all, okay, and maybe I'm missing something. Okay. But other than the New Year's Six bowls and the playoffs, who cares about the other bowls? Half of those.
I agree about the New Year's Six.
Let me. Yeah, but they're not.
Okay,
They're not. And the fact that they travel well means what? That you have a few more fans in the seats at the game, because no bowl game is making money off the people in the stands.
All right,
it looks better on TV.
All right, so wait. Before we move on,
whether it looks better or not, the TV revenue money is what it is. If there's 5 people in the stands or 5 million in the stands, the money for TV revenue is the same.
Can I ask y'all some chaos questions of our upcoming week?
Sure, please, because get him off this train. This is about to crash hard.
All right, so some chaos questions. Number 3, Oregon is at number 23, Utah. It might be a problem.
No, Utah's winning that football game.
All right, there we go. Okay. So some other chaos questions here. Where I lost my place. Hold on.
Undercover, Utah is probably one of the harder places in the country to win a game at.
Oh, it's extremely hard. The last time Oregon,
which is why
it was a problem.
Yeah. Which is why I'm picking Utah.
That's tough. Everybody's favorite underachievers, Arkansas, number 21, is at Alabama. Any chaos alerts there? I don't think so.
Yes, Bama by 50.
Okay. It needs to be asked just because I find it hilarious. Is Texas gonna lose to West Virginia this week?
No.
Where's the game being played?
West Virginia.
That's a good question. It's in Morgantown?
It is.
It could be a problem.
That's a problem too. That place is hard to win.
Okay, back to the real questions. Number 10, Wake Forest, with expectations, travels to Clemson. Is Clemson going to put an end to this?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm riding with Clemson as well.
There we go. Yes. I think so. And the biggest game of the week, Michigan State is at Ohio State, number 7 against number 4.
Oh, Where's the game being played?
In Ohio.
Oh, I know. It's in
the shoe, baby.
It's in the shoe.
See, so
you know what?
The key to the game
I'm rolling with Mel. I believe in Mel. Come
I believe in Mel too, just not this weekend.
Okay. I'll say this. I think if that game was in a neutral site, it would be worth, I'm not gambling, but it'd be worth betting on. The game being in the shoe, man. Ohio State's gonna win. They're gonna figure that out.
Now I got for our West Coast people, shout out to Lamar and Big League. Cal versus Stanford. Ain't need the team any good this year.
Okay. Here's what I'm going to say. I've seen, unfortunately, both teams play this year. Cal is coming off of 28 players and like 9 coaches having COVID and losing to the biggest dumpster fire in the country, Arizona. Stanford has beaten Oregon, right? So there is under no circumstances does it make any sense to logically bet on Cal beating Stanford this week, which is why it'll happen.
There it is. I got 2 more for you. Because we're on the West Coast, it is UCLA USC weekend at USC.
Wait, before
everybody on the West Coast cares, brother. Everybody
before we go into the picks, like seriously, do y'all remember when that game was relevant?
It
used to be. Man, that game hasn't been relevant in a long time, man. The last time that game was relevant, Pete Carroll hadn't been hired by USC yet. Just think about that. That's a long time ago.
He ain't wrong.
There's a generation of people who don't even know that Pete Carroll was at USC.
This is true. Sad state of affairs.
I mean, let's understand this. At one point in time, Troy Aikman and Rodney Peete were the quarterbacks in that game. And that game was spectacular.
Showing your age, brother.
One last college football question for the panel. This includes Chew. Bonus round. 10 bonus points if you can tell me who CHSO is.
CHSO.
Charleston Southern.
Is who Georgia is playing this weekend. Sisters of the Poor.
Yes.
Yeah.
You want to know something funny? Charleston Southern, I think, actually beat Georgia in baseball last year.
Well, and I will tell you this on that
Their
line,
baseball team is pretty good.
So if we're going to give all your undefeated people the role of they beat who people put in front of them, you got to give Georgia the same role.
Listen,
rules are rules.
The one thing that I don't think anybody can or should argue at this point. The one thing that I will say, everybody has gotten right. Georgia's the best football team in the country.
They definitely seem to be that
at
the moment.
And I will give them credit because at one point in time, I thought there was one really good team, Alabama, and a bunch of other solid and good teams. But Georgia's actually really that good. I just think the question is going to be like, if they end up playing Alabama for the SEC title, you're not
going to take Kirby Smart, and you know you're not.
Right, that's.
So I don't even know why you're talking about it. You're not going to pick him.
He's got the better team, but Kirby Smart, I don't think he's going to beat Saban. Like I just don't think it. I just don't think it's going to happen. Nope.
To answer the question from before, BYU has beat Arizona, has beat Utah, has beat ASU, has beat South Florida,
named one football team so far, by the way.
Beat Utah State, lost to Boise State, lost to Baylor, won against Wazoo, won against Virginia, won against Idaho State, and is playing Georgia Southern this weekend to finish with USC post-Thanksgiving.
So they have beaten one team. And they will get slapped to sleep. No, they won't get beat. They'll beat USC. And they'll get credit for beating a good team who's absolutely hot garbage.
All right. Well,
is anybody else confused? Like, how can you ever be really, really, really bad at football at USC? Doesn't that seem relatively impossible to do?
Yeah,
I feel like an awful year at USC should be 7-3.
They've become an art. It's become an art form, though, hasn't it?
Gee, like I don't understand
very good right now. Well, it's like we talked about this too. It's like football in the state of Florida right now.
Yeah,
like none of that makes any sense to anybody.
Doesn't make any sense.
So I'm going to stir the pot in the other direction. The NFL.
Hey, the Cowboys won another game.
I need to like soundbite that.
Hey, but see, here's the thing. Like I saw a stat today where the Cowboys are the highest scoring offense in the league.
Yeah, that's happened before. No one cares.
But they lost last week.
Yeah, they did.
I know, but like, what's their record though? Chew, what's their record?
In January,
8-2.
It's not even Thanksgiving yet.
I'm not even hating on the Cowboys, which I certainly have the right to do and will at some point. I just know that there's no chance that they're going to win the Super Bowl because my buddy, who is a Cowboy fan, has tweeted out that they're going to do so 3 times already. I told him,
I
you
am
have
by
just
no means.
You've
I have
guaranteed
never,
that.
will never, could never be a Dallas Cowboy fan.
No.
But I like to point out when they win, and I said last week when they lost, but I like to point out when they win because I've come to find that there may be more Dallas Cowboy haters than there are Dallas Cowboy fans, which I find absolutely laughable. But because what I've experienced over the last year or so is that win or lose, the haters are louder than the fans.
Always.
It's interesting. It's definitely interesting.
Well, in my world, it's very true.
You know, I know we're off this college football cast, but I can't stop looking at one thing though. I want to see Wake Forest go. I want to see Wake Forest run the table. Because when I tell you there's one team that nobody in that room wants to see in the 4, it's the second smallest school in Division I. They do not want to see Wake Forest in the 14 playoff. Oh, anyway. The NFL.
So you think they don't want to see him because you think Lake Forest is going to beat people?
No, I just don't think they want to see him. Period. Like, I think Wake Forest is like one of those things you tolerate.
So the only good take I have for you on the NFL right now is it's not yet Thanksgiving, and the league has never had more parity than it has right now. I
will definitely agree with you on that. Yeah.
There is no elite team. There are obviously always elite players, and I would bank on the elite quarterbacks finding their way through the playoffs as they always do. Hence why the Cowboys can't.
Do you still have your take on the elite quarterbacks in the league?
Oh, sure. Dak is not one of them.
Who?
He said Dak is not one of them. I still think that's an interesting take.
I didn't say he was, but you went on this small rant a few weeks back about
I'm never going to forget
Jackson
this rant.
And Justin Herbert.
Yes,
and I think
being better than Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, and I think you jinxed them when you did that.
Did not say they were better.
No.
Did not say they were better.
You didn't say currently. You said
they were going to be better.
I said, and I will stand on 5 years from now, wouldn't shock me at all if those people had the same amount of Super Bowl wins as Patrick Mahomes, because the Chiefs ain't winning any more Super Bowls, folks.
Okay. I mean, it's funny that you say that because a month ago.
See, I'm gonna have to go back and rewind the tape because you kind of twisted your words a little differently there. But I'm not because my brain freezes every now and then.
I never said go back and get your exact words. I never said that Herbert and Jackson were better than Mahomes. What I said was, and I will say it again. You know what? Here's a way you might be able to hear me because I know you'll vibe with this. Mac Jones is playing the best of the rookies, but he's also in absolutely by far the best of the situations. He landed with the best coach who has a really good defense and a really good OC and really good teammates and talent around him. Right? Sure. If you take Mac Jones and drop him in Jacksonville, it's a dumpster fire. Okay?
For sure.
So Patrick Mahomes landed by far in the best situation compared to what Lamar Jackson landed in, compared to what
I disagree with
Herbert landed in. And Lamar Jackson's situation is good, but compared to Mahomes, it ain't even close.
I disagree with you there.
How good were the Chiefs? How good were the Chiefs before Mahomes got there?
Very good.
Exactly. No, sir. They were a solid football team with Alex Smith as the quarterback. Like that's what they were.
Wait a minute. Alex Smith never took the Chiefs to the playoffs?
Didn't take them to the Super Bowl.
They lost in the first round.
To the Super Bowl. Okay. That's not the same as what
Ravens were
Justin
a
Herbert
playoff-
inherited.
The Ravens were a playoff team before Lamar got there. What are you
And
talking about?
Okay.
Of course,
Okay. I
didn't
hear
dispute
what
that.
you're.
Now we're
I
talking about
hear
from an
what you're.
offensive perspective. Yes, the
I hear
Ravens
what
have
you're
always
saying.
been a good team.
I hear what you're
John
saying.
Harbaugh's a good coach.
And I know what you're trying to spin here.
I'm not trying to spin anything.
But
I'm saying,
but we can't
Mahomes,
discount the fact that how long has Mahomes been in the league?
4 years.
I think this is year 4.
Yeah, 4.
And he's been to 2 Super Bowls already.
Yep.
Yes.
So regardless of what situation he landed, regardless of any other the factors, he still had to show up and play the game and do his job.
Patrick Mahomes is an elite NFL quarterback. He's phenomenal. I'm not saying he's not. What I'm saying is two things can be true. Patrick Mahomes can be great and overhyped. Both things can be true.
They can be true, but I don't think he's overhyped at all.
Anybody can be overhyped.
Right. Yes, anybody could be. Right. Anybody could be. Some folks are underrated. Other people are overrated. I just know
this.
Mahomes is slightly overrated.
4 weeks ago, you
I don't know how the man been in the league 4 years and he's been to 2 Super Bowls and he's overrated.
I just told
4 weeks ago, you said that you doubted whether the Kansas City Chiefs were going to make the playoffs, and they are now leading their division.
Yeah.
And you told him you were going to win the division too. I remember you telling me.
I absolutely said that. And they're going.
Chiefs are going to win the division. That's cool. They're supposed to win the division. That's cool.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. See, you are the master of this. Today, they're supposed to win the division. A month ago.
At the start of the season, they were supposed to win the division.
Hold on a second. A month
ago,
Super
Bowl last year. They better win the NFC
West. They weren't going to make the playoff.
I'm still not convinced they will.
And now that they're playing better and they're leading the division now, they're supposed to win the
division. No, sir.
That's what you just said.
Wait a minute. The Super Bowl losers are supposed to at least win their conference, are they not? Their division. I'm sorry, their division.
Not necessarily.
Well, no, because if you look at it historically, the Super Bowl loser has missed the playoffs as many times as it has made.
Exactly.
Because they have the Super Bowl hangover.
Exactly.
That's exactly where I was going to go. That's exactly where I was going to go, sir. So why is it a wild thing for me to be like, the Chiefs don't look awesome? I wouldn't be shocked if they don't make the playoffs. It's a trend that happens. I'm sorry. Why are the Chiefs crowned the next dynasty and they've done nothing to deserve that?
See, you ride on that train hard.
I don't ride on that train.
Hold on a second. Okay.
Bona fide
you can pull
that claim that.
Okay. So I don't know who these bona fide people are. You're not gonna find
networks.
No, they are not, because you don't even know what hold on a second. You don't even know what my favorite network is. So stop.
I said networks.
Right. Okay, you don't know what my favorite networks are because see, first of all,
I didn't mean you as impersonal. I mean, sports fans.
All right,
people on ESPN crown them a dynasty.
Here's the bottom line.
Fox crowned them a dynasty. CBS people crowned them a dynasty.
Okay, I'd like to see all of these people crown them a dynasty because I don't think it happened. So I want you to do your due diligence and send me these tapes because I've not heard that narrative, and it's not okay. It's just it might be just some talking heads out there. But the network people were not crowning people a dynasty because network people don't do that. Okay, the people that know the game don't do that because somebody's been to 2 Super Bowls. They don't crown them a dynasty.
Sir, you don't remember. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Obviously, I don't remember because I didn't hear it.
You're honestly telling me, because I know you watch football. You're honestly telling me in the lead up to last year's Super Bowl, you don't remember the conversations about how if Patrick Mahomes somehow wins the game, he is better than Brady. You don't remember that conversation.
I don't.
Lamar.
I'm not telling you it didn't happen.
Well, here's what I'll say.
Hold on a second. I remember it didn't happen. Okay. But the bottom line is because one or two people said it doesn't mean it's the worldwide opinion.
No, I'm just telling you that people are out there overhyping Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, but you can't necessarily say it's an overhype. But here's why I say that. Like, look, if the Chiefs had won that game, right? Patrick Mahomes would have been in the league 3 years and had 2 rings.
Awesome.
That's better than anybody ever has.
It's better. A better start. Yes.
Yeah, and so that's why they say those things. It's always premature, and I get it. All I'm saying is this. I said it a month ago, and I meant it then, and I'm going to stand on the same soapbox now. You can't show me a team in the AFC that you believe in your heart is going to beat the Chiefs on the way to the Super Bowl. Because here's the thing: the only team that
I believe there are three
the Titans, because they don't have a running back anymore.
Wait a minute. I believe there are three teams that because you don't know who's going to play right now. You have no idea. The Chiefs are. The Chiefs will struggle if they play the Titans. I take the Titans. Right now, I definitely
without Derrick Henry. Wait,
without
you would take the Titans. Okay.
Without Derrick Henry.
Then you're high.
I would absolutely take the Bills over the Chiefs right now. Absolutely. And I'm sorry.
Have you seen the Bills play the last 3 weeks?
Yep. I'm sorry. I'll take Baltimore. I'll take those three teams over the Chiefs right now. No problem.
I mean Baltimore that got beat last week.
Everybody's got a bad loss or two this year. Everybody.
I will take any of those three bets.
Cool. We can't, but it is what it is.
Listen, our bets are always for the same thing: the ability to talk smack publicly. That is what our bets are always on.
I got you. We in there. The NFC is dramatically better than the AFC, in my opinion, right now. The best teams in there. So,
It's interesting. But here's the question. Who's the best team in the NFC?
Oh, the Bucks. Easy.
That's really funny, because I definitely don't think that. I would love to believe that, but I think right now the best team in the NFC is probably the Packers, because they got the best defense and they got the best quarterback.
Well, a lot of the defensive struggles, for example, with the Bucks, I mean, half the team is injured, right? So when they get back healthy, it'll be fine. Listen, at the end of the day, I don't want to hear about the COVID liar. I don't want to hear about that, because when it comes to the playoffs, we all know Aaron Rodgers is going to shrink, especially if he's got to see Brady. It is what it is.
We shall see what it is when we get to that point.
It is what it is. Here's my biggest question of the new NFL weekend. Is the OBJ factor going to rear its ugly head in LA?
Okay, first of all, I'm just going to say this as an OBJ lover, supporter, and such. There is no OBJ factor. When he played for a under-talented, overrated Eli Manning, he was a superstar. When he played in Cleveland for one of the most protected and overrated human beings in the NFL, it was hot garbage, because he's hot garbage. Now he is playing in Los Angeles for another overrated. Like, it's so funny to me that everybody thinks that Matt Stafford is so much better than Jared Goff. I'm like, they're the same guy. Matt Stafford is the married and adult version of Jared Goff. They're the same guy. Soft as friggin' soft serve ice cream that's melted in the summertime.
That's so mean of you. That's so mean.
It's the facts, and you know I'm right.
Disrespectful.
It's so disrespectful.
Okay, that's what that is. Let me tell you what, neither one of those dudes is a leader of men.
Wow.
Listen, the consensus seems to be that Matt Stafford is significantly better than Jared Goff. I don't have a lot of evidence for that, but
did you see the game this weekend?
I did, sir.
Matt Stafford looked like Detroit Lions Matt Stafford this weekend.
Listen, and let me be clear.
Did he not?
He did, but let me say this, and I really would like y'all's thoughts on this, because I'm being for real on this. There are certain people in life, in these team sport, arenas, that just, it's like just bad things follow them. You don't know why. You don't really have an explanation for it. Like, OBJ is good. He's very obviously talented. He gets hurt a lot. He's not available a lot. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of media and not a lot of winning that comes along with wherever he's at. All I'm saying is most people think that the Rams are one of the 2 or 3 teams that are a legit threat in the NFC for the Super Bowl. And I just feel like it's like Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook's a phenomenal basketball player, right? But no matter where he ends up, it just kind of goes to shit. And so I'm just saying, like, I don't see it. Now he's in LA. I think the Rams, and they need him because Robert Woods got hurt. I don't see it. I don't see it working.
The jury's definitely out on that one. That's for sure.
To answer the question, the Cowboys record is 7-2.
Yeah, it's cute.
And as of right now,
and the Bucks are 6-3, aren't they? Okay.
Yes, they are.
That's cute. That's cute too.
It's all cute. The difference is we know what our team looked like in January.
What's the record for the COVID QB?
7-1, 8-1. The COVID liar.
It'll be interesting.
Right now,
actually, Green Bay is 8-2.
I was gonna say they lost.
They just lost. That's right. They just lost.
Yeah.
If I'm reading this correctly,
I know they have at least 2 losses because every single team in the NFL has 2 losses because it's the first time in NFL history this early in the season that every team has at least 2 losses.
Hey, lots of parity, brother. Like I said, lots of parity. You know why? You know what? I didn't answer your question. You know why I like the Tennessee Titans? Because I like Mike Vrabel. I told you guys a long time ago. I don't root for teams, cities, fan base. I root for players. I root for coaches. Mike Vrabel is an underrated coach. He is great. And that team is physical. They are prepared. They play smart football. He's a Belichick guy. Like
I usually try to disagree with you, but I 100% agree with you. And I think that Mike Vrabel is the best guy in the Belichick tree.
Oh, for sure. He's proven that much. He's proven that much. So, and Derrick Henry or no Derrick Henry, the Chiefs always struggle against the Titans, and the Titans seem to let them back in the game. If Patrick Mahomes isn't, throwing for 500, I'm just saying.
But he will. Like that's the thing.
He might.
Okay. I know. Okay. Well, let's talk about something that we supposedly know more about, right? This is a question from the audience, and it goes a little something like this. How does the return of the falling athletes change the 2022 track and field season? Christian Coleman, Christian Taylor, Nasser, and Mish Shakiri.
Well, one of them, not at all.
Ooh. Pick your mind, fella.
I'm sorry. The return of Miss Richardson, what's she returning from? A 30-day suspension? She was around. She got her head busted. She can't beat any of those girls. She hasn't proven that she can. So, seriously, like, I'm not trying to be mean. Like, it is what it is. Like, she's not returning.
Again,
she's gone for 2 years.
I hate to ever agree with Clyde, but I actually agree with him on this one. Shakiri doesn't belong on the list because she's not returning from anything.
Right.
But technically she is because she missed the Olympic Games, so she is returning.
Okay, cool. She missed the Olympic Games. Her presence at the World Championships, unless the other people are unavailable due to injury, are not relevant at all. She is not proving that she belongs on that stage with those women.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this to you that is disrespectful.
How?
Because let me explain to you why it's disrespectful. Because regardless of what we think, regardless of what we saw at the Prefontaine meet, right? Because once she gets to the stage and doesn't perform, then I'm gonna ride with you, okay? But let's just imagine a world where Shakiri Richardson gets herself together. Let's imagine a world where she masters her craft, where she gets serious about the sport and is focused. Then she absolutely could make a difference. Now, I'm not saying that she will, because she has not proven that she can, but there's no way you can say she's never going to be relevant. So all I'm saying is,
I didn't say she never would be. I said she's not.
I did. Okay, right. So to this point, she's not. But I'm going to say this, right? If Shakiri Richardson becomes a student of her craft and masters her craft and shows up focused on the right things She absolutely belongs in that arena and will make a difference. But
So what
she's
you-
got some
that's-
work. So she's got some work to do to get there is what I'm saying.
We
Because
agree
the
on
talent is there.
that. We
Exactly.
agree on that. So what? You did a long dance around saying this.
I ain't dancing around nothing.
If Sha'Carri Richardson decides to turn into a professional, then she might have an opportunity to do something. There's no evidence of professionalism there.
Okay, look, okay, see,
Talent,
okay.
for sure.
I'm gonna say this again. I hear what you're saying, but unlike you and some others, I'm going to just wait and see, because I'm hoping that the lesson was learned and we're going to move forward. So I'm not going to buy she doesn't belong on the list because she's a huge talent. I'm not going to buy that she's going to be irrelevant because people change, and sometimes adverse situations make people do the things they're supposed to do. Now, if Sha'Carri Richardson shows up and she's the same Sha'Carri Richardson she was this year, then I was expecting more of the same. But for me anyway, the jury's still out, because I want to see if she learned anything from the debacle that was the Prefontaine Classic. Okay, because what happened at Prefontaine was a bigger lesson than anything that's ever happened to her in her life. If her and her camp, if her and her camp paid attention, that was absolutely the biggest learning moment in her life. But let's see if we really walked away with, I'm still number forever. It doesn't matter what people think about me. Now, that Sha'Carri Richardson rise, I'm going to stand up with you and say it loud, my man. Okay? If that Carrie shows up, but see, I'm a track and field fan, and I'm definitely a USA track and field fan. So I am hoping and praying and believing that she will calm down, take a step back and say, I need to be the professional that these ladies are, because if she becomes that professional, then we got a show, and I want to see the show.
And sir, I will agree with you, and let me be very, very clear. From a talent perspective, Miss Richardson is our best chance not to be embarrassed on home soil. I just don't believe that it's going. I don't believe it. I'm not a. You got to show me something.
That's fair. But so all I'm saying is this: I'm hoping that she shows you something. That's all. Because look, I'm not arguing with you. To this day, she's done nothing to show you other than she's talented, right? And we talked about this. Potential simply means you haven't done anything yet, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we're not going to talk about her potential. So all I'm saying is that I am hoping that she learned a lesson, that her camp was able to sit her down and get her focused on the task at hand. That running 1072 in May at Mount Sac doesn't matter. Because you can't line up and run 10.5 and 10.6 at the championships in Eugene in July when it matters. It doesn't matter. But I think, as we all do, the talent is there. Will she become the professional she needs to be to compete? Because we all know the Jamaicans aren't going.
Now, who's the rest of that list?
Christian Coleman,
Christian Taylor, and Nassar. See, I was paying attention.
Okay. I'm sorry. I thought I wanted to get rid of the low-hanging fruit. So Christian Taylor, it's not the sexy event, right? Like, no, the world doesn't really care about the triple jump. But Christian Taylor, coming off his injury, and Will Clay being Will Clay, like, I'm super excited to get back to that battle, because it's one of the all-time battles. Both men have yet to complete their ultimate mission, which is obviously the world record. And they might both be running out of time. So, I'm very excited for the return of Christian Taylor, because he has done it. He's the GOAT, right? Like, championships, hardware, that he's the GOAT. And I can't say his throne was taken because he wasn't there. They ain't taken from him. So that one, if you're a track and field fan, the return of Christian Taylor is a big, big deal.
Yeah, I'm obviously absolutely going to co-sign with you on that one. He brings a different fire. He brings a different focus to the event, and everybody knows that there's I don't can remember a competition when he and Will were both on the runway that did not end up being very, very special and very, very exciting. So I'm like you. I'm all for the return of Christian Taylor. And I think that when you add Christian and Will, a healthier Will and Christian to the event, along with the guys that got it done this past year, I think it becomes very interesting. It does. Obviously, Christian Coleman coming back. See, I think Coleman, I think what you saw last year at the Olympic Games was without Coleman there, everybody thought they could win.
Yeah.
I think it's a whole different scenario if Coleman's there. If Coleman's there, they're like, well, we're running for second. But because Coleman wasn't there, it changed the narrative. So now, what's the narrative changed to now when he comes back? Do people think they can beat him? You know, like does Fred Curley run the 100 if Christian Coleman's around last year?
You know what?
That's the question.
Yes.
If you would have asked me originally, I would have said no. But after Fred doing everything he did this year and establishing, like, you know what, I'm my own version of Psycho and I'm going to do what I'm going to do the way I'm going to do it. Not only do I think he does it, but now that he has hardware, I don't think he's concerned with Christian at all.
Oh, I don't think now is the issue. But I think Fred went to the 100 last year because he felt like he could win it. He really, in his heart, thought he could win the 100 last year. But if Christian Coleman's in the 100 last year, he don't think he can win it, and I'm not sure he goes and runs it. Okay, so just curiosity's sake. But if Christian Coleman is the Christian Coleman that he was in 2019, it changes the whole dynamic of the event. Changes it because we all have witnessed you can run 980 mid or 980 low when people are coming back to you. Christian don't come back.
That's true.
And that changes everything.
Did we miss Christian Coleman last year as a sport?
Yes. Yes,
Absolutely.
we did. And I will say this. I think the one thing, and maybe I'm petty or wrong for this, but I think the one thing that positively did happen this last year, because there was no Christian Coleman, is Trayvon Bromell was allowed to get back in the sport, get his confidence back, and be a thing. Because I think if Christian, but the thing is, Fred Curley has never lacked in confidence, and Fred, I mean, I unfortunately, I guess, know this at this point. Like Fred went to the 100 because he had an ankle injury and literally just couldn't train for the quarter and just couldn't run it. Like his training, like they had done stuff for him to run the 2, so he had been doing a lot faster stuff, and then the ankle got jacked and he just literally couldn't go around the turns. And so he put all the eggs in the 400 meter basket. Again, I didn't know that then. I was on the same page as all of y'all. I actually know this to be true at this point. But I think Christian coming back it's very, very interesting because I think Christian coming back will probably in a lot of ways dictate. I don't think it'll dictate what Fred Curley does. I do think it'll dictate what Mike Norman does.
I don't see it. I think you're dead wrong on that one. Mike Norman wants to be a 1-2 guy. I think that's what he's always wanted to be.
I mean, Mike Norman wants to cash checks though. Mike Norman goes to 100 with Christian. Where's he going to fit?
Okay, so Michael Norman goes to the 100 and he's a top 5 guy in the world. He's a top 5 guy in the world in the 100. He makes more money than he does in the 400.
But he's not going to make the team.
Oh,
unless you're talking about the relay.
He still makes more money than he does in the 400.
Wait.
Seriously, you can't be Michael Norman. You can't be Michael Norman and be cool with being a relay cat.
Wait a minute.
Okay, first of all, why is he a relay cat?
If you're saying if Michael Norman made the decision that Curley made and went to the 100 to pursue it for real, he doesn't make the team?
That's what I said.
Wow. Okay.
I think if Michael Norman chooses to run the 100, he's not going to make the team in an open event. Now,
Okay.
now I will
totally
say this:
disagree
if he
with you on
runs,
that one.
if he runs the 200, if he runs the 200, it gets interesting, and I think he's got a better shot there.
Other than Christian Coleman, Michael Norman is our best starter we have. And if Michael Norman
I
is
think
training,
Ronnie Baker would like to differ with that.
okay, well, Ronnie Baker can differ all he wants. It's my opinion.
Okay.
When it comes to start mechanics, Michael Norman is the next best guy behind Coleman. And I'm not sure his mechanics aren't better than Coleman's. Coleman just does some freaky stuff. He's a unicorn, as you guys like to say, right? When it comes to start mechanics and the application of the race, Norman, in my opinion, is the best guy. But now the question is,
I've been a Michael Norman fan longer than you, right?
Right. So if Michael Norman can again master his craft, it gets very interesting because Michael Norman is a player.
Well,
let's do this real quick, right? Right now, like going into next year, we'll just look at times. You got Christian, and then I think it's Brumell at 77.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then is it Ronnie at 83?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what Fred has run. Is it 83 or 84?
84.
84.
Right. So Fred's at 84 and Norman's at 84 at AP Ranch, right?
Yeah.
Right. So
now that was wrong.
You
didn't tell where everybody else ran their times at.
The race was legal. I wasn't dissing. I'm just saying, like, that's what he ran.
You should never have said it. He ran 80, whatever he ran. I think it was 86 actually, but yeah.
Might have been.
So okay, so then somebody's in. Oh, we forgot about Bracy. He's run 85, right?
Sure.
Yeah. See, okay, but my thing is this. Okay, so
I'm not crazy.
At the end of the day,
Kenny ran 86 too.
And I was like, and Kenny ran 86.
Right. You know? And so look, that's a good problem for the U.S. to have, first of all. Let's start there.
It's great for the United States. I'm talking about Michael Norman.
Okay, but here's the thing. The other guys did that running the 100 full time. Michael did it doing it part-time training for the 400.
That's right.
If Michael Norman...
You know what a fan of Michael Norman's I am.
No, clearly you're not a fan of this because you said he had to make team, so you can't be a fan.
No, because look, just because I'm a fan doesn't mean like I don't believe that there's certain levels of reality.
Okay, so I will put it to you. I will put it to you like this, right? I personally believe that Michael has one thing for him when it comes to the sprints, and I've watched him do it a lot over his lifetime watching him race. He's the one guy that's not going to panic when Coleman doesn't come back because he holds his mechanics better than anybody else. And in a situation like that, when you in the 100, especially when you think you have a chance, you hold on pretty good. But when Coleman discourages you at 20 meters, let alone at 50, 60,
Jesus,
right? He's the one guy I believe will, and I think Baker will do the same. Now that I'm thinking about it, right? But like, I'm not sure Brumell does, right? Because Brumell hasn't shown the tendency to do well when he's not the guy.
Right.
Like he runs fast when he's the guy, but not as fast when he's not the guy. I'm not even going to get into this thing about Bracy. Okay. And the other guy.
We don't know what to do with him, right?
Exactly.
We have no idea what to do with Bracy.
You don't know what to Bracy, you don't know what to do with Kenny either. But as far as the technical side of it, I just happen to be a fan of Michael's running technique. And I think that in the big time races, in big time situations, race management and technique go a long way.
I just want to say this: if he takes it on full time, I'll take Norman over the majority of that field. But the original point here was about Christian Coleman, and I want to be fair to athletes mentioned before. Christian Coleman also has to prove that he is ready to be a professional, because unlike Miss Richardson, if he doesn't get his professionalism together, he's going to be out of the sport. So he can't take another hit in this area. And so he better have his professionalism together. so we can all go watch his talent on the track. You know, I mean, it needs to be said.
And those are facts.
Well,
Like
see,
at some point in time, we do have to make sure we.
You're absolutely right. But again, I'm gonna bank on Christian learning his lesson. I'm banking on, we're talking about him being on the track and return to the track. And from that standpoint, that dude's a game changer.
Sure.
He changes it because I guarantee you, we've seen this before. He's just different.
Well, and that's the distinction.
And he makes
right?
the race different. He makes he just changes the whole conversation.
Absolutely. And that's the distinction. He has proven that in the biggest moments he can deliver. So as long as he's not being stupid, I expect him to be out there winning on top of the world, standing on top of the podium, doing what he does. There's a difference there. Like, all the people on this list are proven entities, including Miss Nasser, who we haven't talked about yet. Sha'Carri isn't. So when it comes to Nasser might be the most interesting of this, because in this event, it seems to be only a two woman event for real, because no one's beating the Bahamian except Nasser, right? Do we the last time we saw Nasser, as far as I'm concerned, she's the world record holder. You know what I mean? So, and then Shanae went out and did what she did this year. So head to head, that might be the coldest battle.
Oh, there's no doubt it will be. And if Nasser shows up and she's the Nasser from before, Shanae better step her game up, because Nasser is the real deal. And she's proven that she can show up at the championships and get it done when it counts. That's the beauty of Nasser.
So it's crazy.
Who else is on the list? We got Sha'Carri, Christian. We got Sha'Carri, Christian, Nasser. Oh, and
Christian, Nasser,
Taylor,
and Carrie. Yeah,
that was it.
And
I didn't
honestly,
weigh in on Christian Taylor, and I'm excited. I'm excited to have him back. I just feel blessed to have him back. Period.
Yeah,
and that's
honestly, 3 of those 4 can win gold medals, and Sha'Carri has the talent to do it. We just got to see her master her craft to be a part of that conversation. Yeah. Because unfortunately, when you're dealing with the Jamaicans, 1070 something isn't fast to them. Yeah, 1070
All
something.
3 of them have run that multiple times.
Exactly, that's not fast enough.
Well, talking about competition and segueing into making it a little more applicable to the realm right in front of us, literally right in front of us, the pros and cons of running a December meets. Are there pros and cons? What are your pros and cons? What is part of your decision-making process is the participation in them?
I've done December meets, both in my capacity as a head coach in previous stops and as an assistant. I like December meets if they are economically feasible. It's a great way to break up the monotony of all the training you've been out there doing. It's a good way to get some, early testing numbers on the work that you've done in the fall. It's fun for the kids. And so, if there's a good opportunity and the travel makes sense, I'm a fan of it. Now, being on the West Coast, I don't really see a situation out west where I think it's going to make a lot of sense for me to do. But December meets are cool. They're not important, but they're cool.
I want nothing to do with a meet in December.
Of course not.
It's a trap. So go to a meet in December. Athlete X runs really well. They leave to go home. They think they're ready, so they don't train. Athlete Y doesn't run well. And so now they're upset. So they do one of 2 things. They go home and pout and they don't train, or they go home and they're upset, so they overtrain.
Or they go in the portal now. There's still portal time. There's still portal time.
Yes,
and for me, if you need numbers in December, You can test in practice. You can get the numbers you need in practice. That's just me. I'm not telling people what to do, but I personally want nothing to do with a December meet. Nothing. You could pay us to come and we're not showing up.
Would you agree that a December meet is practice, just with jerseys and, you know, other teams around?
No, because it's not practice. Because if you're not, look, if you put my uniform on, it's not practice. No. That's just
I'll tell you, the truly interesting tack that I've seen in the last 4 or 5 years is taking your best cross-country people straight out of cross-country season and trying to get the A qualifier in the 5K or 10K at the December
meet. That's a whole different conversation.
But and so like
there's value there.
There is value there immediately, right? But to Lucius's point, the list is only 16 deep.
Yes.
Right? So if you carry that peak out just a little bit further, and so you can run really, really well at December meet, now you're asking somebody to be basically top 8 in the country, because you can't feel comfortable from 8 to 16 because there's a whole season of meets that people are going to go past you, right?
Sure.
And so like, I think December meets are great with a tremendous amount of thought process that goes into them so that they are exactly what Clyde wants them to be, which is better versions of practice. But I'm not trying to run anybody in their primary events in a competition in December.
I didn't necessarily say primary events now.
No, I'm just saying from my perspective.
So then why are we going?
That's kind of the whole reason that the question was asked.
I'm going to pack my team up and take them someplace in December to run totally off events, when I can do that same thing in practice.
Which is why.
But again, that's just my philosophy. So I'm not telling you it's wrong. That's just my philosophy. Let me stop acting as different.
All I'm saying is this. Some years we've done it. Some years we haven't done it. I've never gone to a December meet and had it do any harm. I've had it be a nothing burger, and I've had it in a situation where it's most definitely helped Kid X moving forward. To your point, though, and what I always tell my people who run, I'll use the 60 meter dash because that's an easy thing to say. If we go to a December meet and you run, you know, for yourself a well done 60 meter dash, yes, I can get those same numbers and whatnot in practice, but we all know that kids and their own psychology is a little different, right? So if Kid X does something good at the December meet, now I have something to be like, hey, look, don't screw this up. Because we know it's been going well. You're going to go home for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, depending on what school you're working at, right? You know, And so it's like, it can do some good, especially in the psychology realm. It can also do some bad, just like any competition can. All I'm saying is, depending on where you're at in the world, depending on what level you're competing at in the world, depending on the proximity that you have to travel for such a thing. Like, I'm not getting on a plane to go do all of that. But, you know, if I got an indoor complex an hour up the road or something, and we can get some races in, I'm cool with that.
I will stick this one caveat in there as a note to those who watch and listen to the show. Please remember, if you have a kid that is borderline academically, never under any circumstance run them in a December meet.
Yeah.
Because if they run in a December meet and then show up ineligible at the semester, you just burnt that year of eligibility. So just be cognizant of that. Don't run shaky academic kids in a December meet under any circumstances.
Big red flag. Ever,
That
never, ever.
that is my
do that.
soapbox rant for that particular topic. Don't do that.
Get the grade checks first.
If you have any questions at all, just don't do it. Just don't do it.
That's a nice piece of advice there. Way to pay it forward.
I try. I've never felt the pain of that. I have without question seen the pain of that, and I have sweated semester grades over that and realized had I just not run the kid in December meet, I wouldn't have been sweating at all. I've been like, it's on them. If their grades are bad, then they're bad. So I learned, don't do that.
Nothing faster can screw up your APR than running a kid in December.
Ouch.
So fast. So fast.
All right. Well, that wraps up our session of questions or topics at that. So hydrate, Clyde, because you're in rapid fire.
Oh, yay. It's been a rapid fire kind of day. Go ahead.
Yes, right. I know. I feel you on that one. All right. So in a competition as a coach, are you a yeller or the silent killer?
Oh, that's a good question. I like that.
That's a great question. And the truest answer is it depends on who the kid is, because some people need me to be both.
Got it. I get that. What Thanksgiving food are you looking forward to most?
I don't care. I don't care. Listen, all I want this Thanksgiving is peace and tranquility at my house. I don't care what I eat. I will happily eat pizza. But in a normal year where food is a priority, I'm a stuffing guy. I like stuffing.
Got it. Are you a fan of the show Insecure?
Oh, such a complicated question. I used to be a fan of the show Insecure. I watched it religiously. And then year 3 was so bad, I stopped watching it completely. And I have no idea.
Stop it. It was not bad.
It was horrible.
You're one of
stopped
those
watching
people.
it completely. And I have no idea what's going on right now.
I can't with you.
Season 3 sucked.
Issa, ignore him.
Oh my gosh. What Saturday morning cartoon did you get most excited about?
Man, I used to watch like American Gladiators on Saturday mornings. Like I ain't really watch cartoons on Saturday.
I dig that. I dig that one. All right. Do you remember, this is a question I asked last weekend. Do you remember your first NLI commit?
Do I remember my first as a coach?
As a coach, yes.
Oh God. I remember my first cycle of NLI commits. I don't remember who the first kid was, but I was completely stressed out trying to prove that I was worthy of my job at Louisiana Tech University under Sean Jackson and Gary Stanley. And
I'll ask him tomorrow to see if he remembers.
I was very stressed out about that first season.
I'm curious as to this question or answer. Sweet potato pie or pumpkin pie?
Pumpkin.
Oh, yes.
All day. Pumpkin.
Here we go. Of course.
Pumpkin. Ain't even close. Pumpkin. And I'm gonna tell you why. I'll say this.
We know why.
The best pumpkin pie I've ever had and the best sweet potato pie I ever had, sweet potato pie is better. But very few people do sweet potato pie well. Pumpkin's always better.
I can agree with that one.
I'm just appreciative that somebody got my subtle shade.
I got it.
When you were younger, did you eat the gum from the baseball card packs?
Yeah, I shouldn't have. They were terrible.
Dude, they were so sharp. You could cut your tongue off.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Last but not least, and this happened because it came across my timeline. Biscuits and gravy or avocado toast?
Girl, stop.
That's a very West Coast question. Done properly, avocado toast.
Got it. I like it. You have survived my questions. Now you have questions from the other gentleman.
Go for it, Sir Lucius.
Let's see here. So I'm going to keep it along the Thanksgiving theme. I know you don't care if you have pizza this year, but have you ever had the occasion to experience, the chitterlings and all those kind of things for Thanksgiving? And if so,
I will never eat those. I will never eat chitlins. Never.
Okay.
Never.
His face changed so fast.
It did, didn't it?
Oof. That was different.
Undefeated?
Huh. Let's go. Let's stay with the Thanksgiving theme, and I'll ask this question. What is your greatest Thanksgiving memory?
You have to understand, I don't come from a very traditional family. So like Thanksgiving it's not really a whole event in my household. Like Thanksgiving memory? I'm literally drawing a blank on anything like, oh my God, I will never forget that from Thanksgiving. I'm sorry, that's a terrible answer. It is. It's just the truth. Yeah.
All right. Well,
I get that.
Fair enough.
All right. Well,
it's funny. I don't, because Thanksgiving is probably the one holiday of all of them that I do have memories like that.
nope.
You know how usually people have like, you remember that Christmas with such and such? Yeah, I don't have one of those really. I have a few that were like, well, that was nice, that kind of stuff. But I have some Thanksgiving memories where I'm just like, wow, that happened. So I figured I'd ask somebody else.
Keep it in your pocket for next time. You got to try that one again. Anyhow,
Sure.
Moving on to last but very much so not least, heartbeat props. Saying thank you and praising those who can receive them currently. Anybody got one popping out at them?
Mine's kind of an odd one, but it came to me earlier today when I was having lunch with this gentleman. My heartbeat props go to somebody we've had on the show. My heartbeat props go to one Mr. D.A. Daryl Anderson. And they go out to him because I think we talked about this, Sir Lucius. I've known the two of you like 27 years, 26 years, something like that. And in the 7 or 8 weeks that I've now lived in Texas, as odd as it is, I've grown a great deal closer to him, which is weird because I would never thought that there was room for that. But we had an awesome lunch today and I learned a whole lot of stuff and it was cool. And I'm one of those people that's very appreciative of still getting to learn. And at 51 years old, it was worth taking my friend to lunch to learn some stuff, and it was cool. So in a very lighthearted, I see you all the time, heartbeat props, like my heartbeat props go to DA because today I got to see an even more awesome side of the dude.
That's our guy.
It is our guy.
I'm going to give my heartbeat props to a guy that I've known for quite some time. He's one of our lead officials, and he continues to be incredible support of our program, not just for me, but the program as a whole. And that's Mr. Tony Tusing. Like I said, he's the head of our officials association. And I just appreciate the fact that Tony always finds time to reach out just to say hello, check on me, check on my family. And he's always very excited to see the people that we're signing. And I got a nice email from him today about a couple of people that we signed. So just big shout out to my man, Tony Tusing. And thanks for being you guy.
I'll go next. Mine will be short. Props to my staff. We are still in the infancy of whatever it is we think we're doing out here out west. And, you know, everybody's kind of starting to settle into their roles and you know, learning who's good at what and who is best dependable for what things. And I think the chemistry that we have thus far is really good. And I'm proud of the choices that I've made, but I'm proud of the way that everybody's grinding away at their job. So props to the staff.
Nice. I would like to give a little fist bump, a little heartbeat prop to Lyndon Victor. It's been amazing to see how someone who, from the outside perspective, has accomplished as much as he had, collegiate record holder, finishing at the Olympics, things of that nature, but to see how eager he still wants to grow and still has room to grow and wants to grow and wants to be better and knows that he can be better after such accomplishments. And so hearing that, and then just hearing how never settling he is in all things that he does, as little as daily tasks to his ultimate 4-year task, 3-year this year, and how it breaks down even smaller. It's amazing to see just that determination, and you want to gleam on those things, because for our quote unquote collegiate athletes who think it can be done in a month or in a day or in a session, you want them to see that, because you just see the perseverance through it. So good job, bud. You kick some butt. So, well, gentlemen, we've put together some minutes and we called it a show, and it went quite well. So without further ado, we'll bid each other goodbyes and see each other in a week. Hope everyone has a great weekend. As you get ready for Thanksgiving, whether you're traveling or not, hope we get to your destination safely, and we will definitely be able to say happy Thanksgiving next week. So have a great night, everyone. See you soon.
When the lights come on, the road just get to running. When the lights come on, opponents smash the plumbing. Heard you like it warm, hot, knife the butter. Truth hit them hard, knock them off that rebuttal. Tsunami, tidal wave to your puddle. Tough love, punch you in the arms, little brothers. Athletics LLC, there's no others. Track and field's place and we'll peel to go further. Hey, Wile E. Coyote, it's road runners. Feels like you know us, you've been with us the whole summer. If not for this quarantine, these 4 corners wouldn't be here, but we here, so start learning. You gotta earn your stripes, gotta get your scars. Show you how to fight, but show us who you are. You lack experience, but still you wanna talk. And who is actually talking to you? Circle's kinda small. Heads prevail when the backbone's strong. Gotta keep it coming, no, it won't last long. Pass and failed and sell the sad song. And if you don't check yourself, then that's wrong. Just trying to give you the real that you asked for. So why you keep cutting us off to ask more? We put it in slow-mo, but you fast forward. Athletics LLC, the task force.